A 300% increase in prescriptions since 1999, a nearly doubling of people who are misusing these prescription drugs, these opioids, now increasing to 10 million Americans who are misusing, acknowledging that they're misusing opioids. A situation where we are having now 2 million Americans who are addicted. 80% of new heroin users get their introduction to heroin through opioids. Nearly 27,000 deaths a year, and $25 billion spent in unnecessary healthcare costs and in lost productivity, and $5 billion spent for criminal justice costs associated with opioid abuse and misuse. President deeply concerned about the impact across America, but specifically in rural areas where the rate of prescription use is greater and the death rates are higher, has asked me in my capacity as the chair of the Rural Council to head up an effort to try to integrate and coordinate a federal response to this epidemic, and to encourage Congress not just to simply authorize steps that we're already taking, but to provide additional resources so that we can do a better job of prevention, treatment, recovery, and reforming our criminal justice system to enable folks to have a pathway to treatment and recovery. As a secondary aspect of this, there is also the economic situation in rural parts of the country where many people believe that their tomorrow is not going to be brighter than their today, and I think it's up to the USDA in particular, through the use of its resources, to try to revitalize and reshape the rural economy, and that's a component part of this. So it's a major undertaking because this is a heartbreaking set of stories across the country, and something I'm personally familiar with, having watched my adopted mom go through an addiction to prescription drugs and alcohol, and having her cope with it for a period of time, having the impact on our family. Fortunately for me and for her and for my family, she was able to get help, remain sober for the last 14 years of her life, but it was not easy, and she had a lot of help. And I think that's the underlying message here. This is a disease. It's not a character flaw. It's not a situation where we are judgmental. This is a situation where we know what works, and we know that we have shortages of treatment facilities and treatment personnel. And those shortages are most acute in rural areas.